Hey girl, hey. Or a gentleman, but it was just more fun to say it like that. My closet is going to be so distracting, so let me shut the door. That light was just going to drive me nuts. Okay, so it is time for our word on the weekends. So, today I want to talk to you about something that I feel like is super relevant. It's not just relevant for today, but it's relevant for always, especially with women. And I'm sorry if you're a guy and you watch my channel, I am so sorry, because it's hard for me sometimes. I talk about women, I talk about moms, but that's just because that's who I am. So that's what I speak to, because I feel like I can speak to that. So I'm gonna have to get my husband on this channel more often, so that if there are any gentlemen watching me, I do appreciate you just as much. So he's gonna have to start speaking to the gentlemen. But anyway, this applies to everybody. But again, I am a mom, I am a woman, I'm a wife, so that's just kind of how I relate. And I have something horrible in my eye, I can feel it. Today I'm going to talk about, by this title you can probably understand where this is going. But I feel like whether it's about ourselves or whether it's about just life in general, it's really, really easy, especially this day and age with all of the drama we got going on, to be negative, to be a downer, to be a positivity sucker, because you can just see so many things around you and you're just like, ugh. It's easy to be a complainer. You know what I mean? That's easy. It's comfortable to do. Once you get on that bandwagon, you just keep on a trucking and you speed away with it, right? Once you give yourself the opportunity to complain about one small thing, it's so easy for that to skyrocket, and you just start, well, what else can I complain about? Well, what else is bad? What else can I talk? Because I mean, that's how the enemy works, right? The more you complain about and the more things he brings to your mind to complain or to gossip about or to create drama about or to be negative about, the more you forget about the great and wonderful positive things you have in your life. So yeah, it's like a no-brainer for him, right? He's gonna put all that stuff into your mind, and the more you say, the more you get down. The more you complain, the more down in the dumps you get. The more negative you speak, the more down in the dumps you go, because that's just the way it works. Just like, positivity speaks life, negativity speaks death, and that's just what it is. You're just wallowing in this blah. I mean, that is what it is. I just recently started following a channel. She just started her channel, so I'm going to link her channel down below so that you guys can go and check her out. But I was watching a video that she did. I'm not going to say her channel name out loud because I'm trying to see if I can maybe find her really quick. But I'm not going to say her channel name out loud because I'm going to butcher it. But if I can find her really quick, I'll tell you who it is. And then I'll still link her channel down below. But she is talking about how to get out of a rut, right? Like how easy it is to get into a rut and how to get out of one. She did a video on that. And I thought that was really cool because it is really easy to get yourself in a rut. And I thought, wow, I can't find it, but I'll link her down below because I know I can find her. But anyway, how easy it is to get yourself in that rut and how hard sometimes it can be to dig yourself out of that. And I thought, wow, I'm going to talk a little bit, kind of circling around that subject today. But I just want to talk about how important your tongue is. You don't realize it. Especially if you're like me, and once you open it to start talking, it's just like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and you just continue talking because you like to talk. I mean, that's me, right? That's why I do a YouTube channel, because I like to talk to you guys. I like it. It's my outlet. I like to express myself in lots of different ways. I like it, right? We all like to communicate. There's a reason why women are known stereotypically as talkers, because we like to talk. But I want to talk to you about the power of your tongue and what it does, right? So there's a few scriptures, and there's so many of them, and I'm not going to share all of them because there's a lot. But This one is the one I really want to center around, right? It's Proverbs 18:21, and it says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." You bear fruit, right? We've talked about that before. That's biblical as well. I'm really bad at knowing scriptures by like where it's found at by heart. I can tell you the scripture. I just can't tell you where it's found all the time. But you will know a person by the fruit that they bear. You will be able to tell by the fruit they bear. How are we bearing fruit? By our actions, by our words. How do you get to know somebody? You get to know them by what they tell you, and then you see what they do. Your first impression of someone is by them speaking, right? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Holy cow, are you kidding? Like, you can speak death or you can speak life. So what are you speaking in your life and in the lives of those around you? Philippians 4:8, whatever things are true, whatsoever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Not the bad, not the negative, not negative Nancy coming to stay. No, the good things. Meditate on these things. Think of these things going on in your life. If you're going through a struggle, the easiest way to keep on struggling is to live in that struggle, to meditate on it, to think on it, to dwell on it all the time. Let it consume your thoughts. Or you can choose to be positive, even though that's really, really hard. It's an easy preach, but a hard way to live, right? It holds true. You have to meditate on these things. Let's see if I want to do any of these. This is Isaiah 55:11. "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." There should be a reason for everything that goes out of your mouth. So what is that reason? Is that reason for bad or for good? I don't know if I want to continue reading lots and lots of scripture to you because I just want to talk to you for a bit. But I just wanted to read a few of those because that is a lot. This Matthew 15:11, what goes into someone's mouth does not defile them. It's talking about like foods and things like that. New Testament talks a little bit about different foods that were banned for people in the Old Testament, but then in the New Testament, people started preaching that it was okay to eat these things. But it says what goes into someone's mouth does not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth, that is what defiles them. You choose that. It's what comes out of your mouth, what you're choosing to say. There's so many of them. I mean, so many of them. So I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to stop that now because there's so many scriptures. That one has over 30, so that's pretty cool. I'm getting like text messages over and over on my phone, so if I'm preoccupied, that's why. But I just want to talk to you about that for a second because it's so easy to be negative, right? It's so easy. I do this all the time. I start getting upset, I start getting sad, and I want to throw a pity party, right? When we were so sick, and then my babies were so sick, all of us were so sick, and it was just circling around. All of us would go through one sickness, and we would be sick for like 2 weeks because it would just hit one person right after the other. And then something else would come around, and here we go again, and everybody would get it. I mean, it was seriously like hand, foot, and mouth. Then it was a stomach virus. Then we had strep throat. Then we had the flu. I mean, it was just one thing after another. I thought, dear Lord, what have I done? And why are you doing this to me? Like, oh my goodness. But it was so easy to be negative, right? I'm never going to get out of this house. I'm miserable staying in here all the time. The weather is horrible and it's nasty and it's making me depressed. No, it's not. It's what you dwell on. I was dwelling in it. I was wallowing in it, and it was comfortable. And the more I complained, the more I wanted to complain. That's not pleasing to God, but it's not helping me, right? Not only is what you say effective for you and yourself and your well-being. It affects your day and your life. It affects your mood. It affects who you are, right? Because if you're constantly negative and you're down and you're depressed and you're whatever, then that's not putting you in a good mood. Your actions to other people are not in a good mood. They're not uplifting to others because you can't even uplift yourself, right? And it's also, everything you say is so important and affecting of the ones around you. I'm going to give you an example. And this is in no way me trying to be negative about my mom. This is just an example, right? My mom does not hold herself, I mean, I don't know if she does now, but growing up, my mom never had like the highest self-esteem ever, right? I mean, don't all of us women struggle with that at some point or another during our life? I mean, we're not always known to be the most confident people in the world. It's just a thing. She was the same way, but she would speak out in negative ways towards herself, you know? Ugh, I just look fat. Ugh, I don't like the way I look today. Ugh, if I can't do this right. I mean, just negative things about herself, right? Well, I thought my mom was the greatest person in the entire world, right? She's my mom. I wanted to be just like my mom. I loved my mom. She was 16 when she had me. We kind of grew up together. She was my mom, right? So when you're a little girl and you're looking up to your mom is everything. If she thinks that about herself, then what am I, you know? And then it started pushing off that negativity onto me. So now I have this self-esteem issue. Not to say that my self-esteem issues are all her fault. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that it is contagious, right? If you get around somebody and you're feeling down and they're smiley and they're positive and they're joyful and they're uplifting and they're encouraging and they're pumped up and they're ready to take on the day, does that make you feel a little bit better? Well, if you're wallowing, it can make you feel angry because you're like, what? Why are you so happy? But if you choose to be open, it starts to lift up your mood, right? If you're in a great mood and you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this day, girl boss, I got it going on, and you get around a bunch of people who are yang and they're gossiping, it's all drama, it's all negativity, it's just like, oh, yeah, that is kind of bad. It is contagious, isn't it? That's why it is a thing where you hear it said all the time. A smile is contagious. Smile at someone today. Throw kindness like confetti. It's contagious. You hear that all the time because it's true. It's so true. If you choose to live in that, then that's what you're going to feel. And not only are you going to feel like that all the time, because you're dwelling on it and you're wallowing in it, but you're projecting that out to all those other people in your life. And that's not what you want. So be careful what you say. Be careful what you say to yourself. Be careful what you say with your tongue out to other people. It does damage. Another thing that I want to talk about, and I'm just going to talk about this briefly because this video is getting a little long, but when you are angry with someone and you are feeling negatively towards someone else and you talk bad about them, it's like my dad always preaches this. Bitterness, hate and bitterness is like drinking poison and waiting for that person to die. You're drinking the poison, but you're like, oh yeah, they're going to drop anytime. You just watch this. This is going to do them some real damage. And you're just chugging the poison. And you're just sitting there looking at them, waiting for them to feel the effects. Not necessarily die, but feel the effects of what you're doing, right? You're speaking all of these negative words. You're speaking all of this bitterness. And it's just spewing out because you're so angry. It's not affecting them at all. They don't care. They're just going about their everyday life. It's not affecting them the way that it's affecting you. But speaking that out is harboring that bitterness. It's planting those seeds deep inside of you. It's spreading that hate throughout you. And it's not doing them any damage. So speaking that out is not going to do any good. You need to reflect on positivity. You need to try and focus on forgiveness. I know, that's a really hard word. That's a whole nother video, girlfriend. But it's true because those things, speaking all of that out, it doesn't harm that person, but it harms you and it harms the people that are around you. Nobody wants to be around a negative, down, just always with the drama, always with the complaining person. Nobody wants to be around that person. You know, it's so much easier to be that person, but it's so much better for you and everyone around you to make yourself and choose to focus on the good things. I promise you can find something good. I promise you can. If you're a mom, just look at your babies. Focus on that. Focus on how, this is what I say to myself all the time. How in the world did I, an imperfect human being, and my husband, another imperfect human being, create such complex, creative-minded, sweet, and loving humans? Like, we did that. I mean, I know it was with God's help, but with God in the middle of the two of us, we made that. That's great. It's amazing. It's positive. God gave me these babies so that I could raise them to be good people. I'm trying to raise good little men. That's what I'm doing. Okay, God bless me with that gift. There you go. There's positivity. Okay, we have a roof over our heads. Holy cow. Even at times in our marriage where we didn't really know how we were going to afford to keep the roof, we still have a roof. We've never not had a roof over our head. We've never went to bed starving. We might not have loved what we ate that night, but we had something to eat. You know what I mean? There have been times in our marriage where God had to send somebody to let us eat, but it happened and we were provided for. We have never went hungry. We have never went without a home. You know, you can find something positive even in the horrible times. And that's all I'm saying, is that I know times are difficult and I am not downplaying your struggle at all. I promise I am not. I am here for you. I am praying for you. If you have something specific you want me to pray for, my email is in the description box. Type it on up, girl. I will read it and respond as quickly as I possibly can. So far, I do not think there is an email I haven't responded to. I always respond and I mean it. It's genuine. It's really there. If I tell you I'm going to pray about it, girl, I'm going to pray about it, okay? So I'm here. I'm not downplaying your situation, but I'm telling you for your sake, don't dwell on it and choose to live in that and keep dwelling on it. You have to focus on the positive to dig yourself out of that hole. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, I say that every single time because I really do. You guys are the reason why I make them, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you will keep watching these videos. I hope you will keep watching all the videos, girl, because I've been posting like crazy and I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. So just definitely watch and comment, guys. I love to hear from you. Hit that thumbs up button because believe it or not, it really does help us out for you to hit the thumbs up, and definitely subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss me talking on and on because you know you love me. I love you guys. You love me. We're spreading the love all around. Let's be positive. We got this. So definitely do that. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Bye, guys.